Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. Today, we're going to finish up with our research report writing genre, and we've been working on writing a research report on the contributions of immigrant groups to the United States. This is a very important topic, a very timely topic to be discussing with our students and for our students to be writing about. So, we've talked about the different components of a research report, what goes into a great research paper. But we still want to improve as writers. So today we're going to review all those components of a great research report, all the rhetorical features. We're also going to talk a little bit about sentence level features, and we're going to revise and edit our report through the process of peer review. So let's talk about the 6 steps in writing a research report. This is something we talked about in our first video. We said we want to start by asking a question. Then we're going to gather information, and we talked about the different sources that we can rely on. We're going to organize that information using graphic organizers. We're going to draft our essay or our research report. Then we're going to go back and we're going to revise and edit it. Now, throughout our series of videos, we've been revising our essay by focusing on particular parts of the essay. For example, we revised our introduction, our conclusion. We made sure we had strong body paragraphs. Today, we're going to look at the entirety of that finished product. And we're going to really try to make sure that our research report is perfect, because then we're going to publish it. So, when we talk about the beginning of our research report, we want to make sure that we hook the reader or get the reader's attention. We want to have a first sentence that draws them in. We want to introduce the topic. Now, we said we're going to be talking about one particular immigrant group or a famous immigrant who has made an important contribution to the United States of America. We want to provide any necessary background information, and we want to give the reader a roadmap or a thesis map. Now, this series of lessons is aimed at 5th grade students, so I still usually use the term roadmap, but depending on the level of your students, you can start introducing the term thesis map to your students, because by the time our students get to high school and university, we don't want to say roadmap. We want to say thesis map. This is where you're going to preview the big points in your report. And then finally, we want to have a strong and compelling argument or thesis statement. Then we want to talk about the middle of our essay. So since we're writing about the contributions of a particular immigrant group, we want to make sure that each body paragraph represents one significant contribution. And each body paragraph should have a topic sentence or a sentence that tells us the main idea of the paragraph, and that's going to be our first sentence. Then the subsequent sentences are going to represent supporting details. They're going to give us more information about that big idea. Finally, our concluding paragraph should signpost. I just said finally, letting you know that I was coming to the last part of the essay. We want to do the same thing when we're writing. We want to say in conclusion, in summary, to close. We want to give the reader some indication that we've arrived at the end of our essay. We're going to restate our thesis. We're going to summarize those big points. And then finally, we want to leave our reader with a concluding thought. Now, I think peer review is one of the most essential parts of the writing process. Not only is it a great way to help improve your partner's writing, but when you review someone's writing, you raise your own genre awareness. You become more familiar with the components of a compare contrast essay, a problem and solution essay, a cause and effect essay, or in this case, a research report. Because you know you're looking for specific elements in your partner's writing, you're going to be better informed and more well aware of what goes into this genre of writing. So I always focus on the difference between revision and edits. Revision is when we want to actually make significant changes to our essay. We want to change the content of that essay. That might be, for example, adding more supporting details. You might say, you don't really substantiate this argument. Your second body paragraph has a topic sentence saying this is an important contribution, but you don't really show that in your supporting details. I'd like to see more of that. That's something that represents a revision to the writing. When we edit the essay, we want to go back and we want to make sure that the spelling is perfect, the grammar is perfect, the punctuation is perfect, because we're going to publish it. I always tell my students in the early part of your writing, the early phases of your writing, don't get hung up on that. We want to make sure that we're getting our ideas out there, getting our ideas down on paper, and we're structuring an argument. So remember, we want to engage in constructive criticism. Okay, what does constructive criticism look like? We don't want to tell someone their writing stinks, it's terrible. We want to give specific examples of how they can get better. Now, I think this is something as teachers we all want to impress upon our students, and it's important that we model it for them. We can't just tell students, make sure you give constructive criticism, because they might not know what that looks like. We have to give examples. So I usually walk through a mentor text by using one of these checklists here. And if you look at the slides that I've got here, and all these are available in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, which is linked in the video description, you can see I've got a checklist for my introduction here. And I've also got some ideas as to how we can engage or hook the reader. I've got another checklist for my body paragraphs, and then finally for the conclusion. Now, the cool thing about going through this with the students here is that when I go back and I go to this is what the students are going to get. And what's written here on this checklist is exactly what's written on the PPT. So if you work through this with your students with a mentor text, the students are going to get some indication because you've modeled for them what the peer review process looks like. They're going to get some indication of how they're to engage in the peer review process when they go back to their seats. So then students will go back, they'll change essays, they'll work through this checklist, and then they can leave any comments. That's where they're really going to give that constructive criticism. And also all of this, working with this checklist, it's a great support when it comes to raising genre awareness. After students do that, they'll have the opportunity then to revise their essay and come back and share with the group how the peer review process impacted them and how they changed their essay as a result. So thank you for staying with me for the entirety of this genre. It's 5 videos. If this is the first video you're watching, you can watch all the components of a research report in detail by going back and watching those other 4 videos. And please remember to subscribe to my channel so you get all of my academic writing and creative writing videos. And I'll see you in our next video at the Language Arts Gallery.